They thought they could steal his land. But he had one last trick up his sleeve. Greg Anderson had been away from his farm in Georgia for weeks, handling family matters. Then, one afternoon, his phone rang. It was his neighbor, Jimmy. "Greg, you need to see this," Jimmy said urgently. "There's construction happening on your land." Greg's heart pounded. He hadn't authorized any construction. His farm was more than just land, it was his family's legacy. Who would dare build on it without his permission? Determined to get answers, Greg checked the local news on his phone. His blood ran cold. Local HOA breaks ground for new hotel on former farmland. The article had a picture of his land, with heavy machinery and a giant construction banner. Someone was trying to steal what belonged to him. But what the HOA didn't know was that Greg had prepared for this moment for years. He had taken legal steps to protect his land, just in case someone tried to take advantage of him. And now it was time to fight back. Greg immediately called his lawyer, Kelly Martinez. "Kelly, the HOA started building on my property without permission. I need to stop them." Kelly was quick to respond. "We need to act fast. Do you have any legal documents proving they can't build there?" Greg smirked. "I have everything: easement rights, deed restrictions, zoning laws. They have no idea what they're up against." Kelly got to work, and within hours they sent the HOA cease and desist letter. It listed every law they had broken and warned them to stop construction immediately. The HOA's response: a legal battle. But Greg wasn't afraid. He had spent years studying property laws, learning from the best. His father had always warned him, people will try to take what's yours if you let them. And Greg had taken that lesson to heart. Days later, Greg sat in a courtroom, facing off against the HOA's high-powered lawyer. "Your Honor," the lawyer argued, "the HOA has the right to develop this land. The deed restrictions are outdated. This hotel will bring economic growth." Greg stood up. "Your Honor, this land has been in my family for generations. The HOA ignored the laws protecting it. They thought I wouldn't fight back, but I am here to stop them." The courtroom fell silent. The judge carefully reviewed the evidence, the documents Greg had kept for years. The more he read, the clearer it became. Then the judge made his ruling. The court rules in favor of Greg Anderson. All construction must stop immediately. Greg had won. The HOA had made him, thinking he was just a farmer. But Greg had used the law against them, proving that justice prevails when you stand your ground. That night, Greg stood on his porch, looking out at his untouched land. The fight had been tough, but he had protected his home, his history, and his rights. The next morning, he received another call from Kelly. "Greg, I just got off the phone with the HOA's attorney. They're backing down. Not only are they stopping the project, but they're also paying for the damages they caused." Greg let out a deep breath. "That's the best news I've heard in weeks." He walked his land, feeling the dirt beneath his boots. This farm had survived generations, and today it had survived another battle. He thought of his father and grandfather, who had worked this soil before him. They would have been proud. Greg sent a message to Jimmy. "We won. The land stays ours." Jimmy's response came instantly. "Knew you'd do it, man. They messed with the wrong guy." Greg smiled. This fight wasn't just about land. It was about standing up for what was right, no matter how big the opponent. It was about protecting a legacy, proving that greed doesn't always win, and showing that one determined person can make a difference. Because sometimes, the biggest battles in life aren't fought with fists. They're fought with knowledge, patience, and the courage to stand up for what's right. If you enjoyed this story, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon for more incredible stories on shocking fate.